the sponsor, President's Choice? Or
Yeah, President's Choice, biggest sponsor ever.
All right, welcome to the U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship Consolation Semifinal 2 post-game press conference featuring
Consolation?
Not
Oh, sorry.
consolation. That was nothing like consolation. I'll tell you that.
Featuring the Alberta Pandas after their thrilling 3-2 win over Manitoba. We're going to hear from head coach Carolyn O'Dwyer and then follow up with questions for the student athletes and coach. Let's start with your opening statement after that one.
Yeah, I think what a ride. Won't swear on this, but holy moly. Yeah, a really good battle, I think, for, I don't even know how long we were on there, 2.5 hours. And yeah, just couldn't be prouder of our group again for just sticking with it every single point and just never thinking we were out of that match. I think we easily could have said, oh, they're just playing a little too well. And we just stuck with it, and sometimes you got to get a little lucky at times. And yeah, I think just awesome fight from our group.
Coach, you told us 2 days ago that your defense was maybe your main strength. We
Yep.
saw it. We saw exactly that yesterday against Montreal, and now today it has been stellar again. We got 2 amazing defensive plays in the final set. Ali Moore on the block, and then an impossible play. Then we got a big dig at the back line. I believe it was Lauren, if I'm not mistaken. Can you talk about that defense all game long? Quite crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of the relentlessness of our team is just never giving up on the play. And again, I think I said it in our other press conference, something we train a lot. So just really nice to see that showcased kind of on a pretty big stage when there couldn't be more pressure, to just see things we work on just show up.
What was the main difference? The main, let's say, key point that made a difference so that you could save 3 match points and then score on your first one?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think extending rallies was huge, and just making sure if they're going to win that match that they have to really earn it. And I think it wasn't necessarily pretty, but just kind of sticking with it and making them do more than one good thing to win a point. And I think we were successful just being patient.
Question for Abby. You actually finished with 33 kills. That was quite crazy. The full team had 66, so you had half of them. At some point, it seemed like you could play like 3 or 4 more sets. Do you still have energy right now? How are you feeling?
I mean, I guess I have a lot of adrenaline right now. I'm sure that will die off soon, and I'll take a good night rest, but I could have kept going if it was needed, so.
Kalysta, on your side, you had so many good digs, so many awesome plays on everlasting points that went on your side most of the time. What about your game of yours? It was quite amazing to see you play today.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's always fun playing the Bisons. Like, it's never not been fun. They're always going to show up, which really makes us have to show up. Yeah, they've got some amazing hitters, and sometimes you just have to do your best, and you got to be desperate sometimes to get a ball just up, even a foot off the floor. Yeah.
Michael from 49 Sports, and I know you guys played Alberta in a 5-setter, or played Manitoba in a 5-setter earlier in the season and stuff, and I'm wondering in terms of like even the preparation or during the game today, in terms of how much like that experience, drawing on that experience maybe helped you guys, and this is for all 3 of you.
I think honestly we just knew that they weren't not gonna fight, so we were prepared to bring the same fight that we brought last game. We went in mentally prepared to play for 2.5, 3 hours, and that's what we did. So.
Yeah, I think towards the end of every set, like, they have amazing hitters, but they've got some like key hitters that we're kind of expecting the ball to go to, and we just have to do everything we can to try and limit that. But yeah, like, and every big point, every set we've ever played them, like, I think that's prepared us for that moment.
I have to I'm glad you were mentally ready to go 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not sure I was calling it, but thank you for a classic. I'm wondering where the decision making goes into, you know, you getting like all of those off. Coach, is it you saying in timeouts or from the sideline, come on, gotta keep feeding 21? Is it the players who just make that instinctive decision? 21's rolling, we gotta get it to her. How does that kind of come up? Because you have leaders on the court, and of course you are the coach, but where does that decision making come from?
I think maybe a little bit of both. I think for sure with Justine, she thinks the game really, really well. And so there's a lot of trust in her decision making. So of course we talk about some schemes and some things we want to do. But I think ultimately, you know, it's her kind of decision making there of, okay, you know, Abby's on fire, for lack of a better term, and when it's a big point, I think everyone in the gym knows it going there, but I think you take kind of the hot hand in that moment and just hope it goes your way. So, yeah, I would say a bit of both, just working with Justine on that.
Could you like describe what's as like the two players? I want to get your kind of like thoughts like on that fifth set. Like what's going through your head? Are you just kind of like in a flow state, kind of like all adrenaline, where you're just completely dialed in? Because it seemed like you played some of your best points in that fifth set when everything was on the line. Can you just maybe explain where that poise kind of comes from, where you can perform in the biggest of moments? I'd like to hear from both the players.
We've been in a lot of pressure moments over the season, like a lot of pressure moments over our whole like volleyball career, I guess. Obviously there is nerves, but I didn't feel them, I guess. I don't think any of the team felt them. We were just ready to push because we knew the fifth set was just as much a fight as any other set that game.
I felt them a little bit. Yeah, I definitely felt them, but I think just using it to your advantage, nerves means it matters. And just trying to find that switch from adrenaline shaky to like, hey, calm intensity, like I said before. But yeah, it means it matters. So whenever it comes, I try and bring them down a little bit, but it's because you care.
Kalysta, where would this one rank in your, like, I mean, you're fifth year, so you've seen a lot of volleyball, played a lot of games. Where is this one ranking in terms of your body of work and your career so far?
I don't know. This is my first national semifinal and win that comes with it, so gotta say it's the biggest one. And,
Until tomorrow, right?
until tomorrow. But yeah, every single point you're out on the court, you learn something new. So yeah, like everyone, I'm still learning. Abby is somehow still in her first year, so she's gonna still be learning, and who knows, maybe next time she'll have all 66 kills. So.
And just in terms of, I was wondering about your teammate Lauren, in terms of also fellow fifth year as well, and I'm wondering, and this is for all three of you, in terms of like what do you kind of stands out about kind of her and her impact in terms of her as a person, her impact both tonight and just overall in terms of that.
I think the energy she brings is super key. She's a year older than I am. She's got a little bit more experience. But yeah, I think she also knows what it takes. She's an incredible player, and she was passing all the money tonight. So yeah, it's really easy to look to her when things are kind of going south, and she'll like kind of guide us to where we need to go.
I would just say I think it's been extra special, especially as of recent, to just see the relationship between Abby and Lauren, and how they work together on, okay, what attacking zones do we have available? And even when Abby's swinging, Lauren's someone that's talking to her. And yeah, I just think for our program, it just makes a huge impact to have those older athletes of, hey, yeah, you may be young in your career, but you can do this, and I'm going to help kind of guide how you prepare, how you handle the nerves in a match. And I think just her being our leader and captain has been special for everyone, but I think, yeah, the two of them, it's been really cool to see that growth.
Then how would you describe that relationship and who you were most?
Well, when I was like younger, Lauren was like probably one of the coolest volleyball players to me. So I think just getting to play with her now, it's incredibly inspiring, and I'm so happy to learn like everything I can from her. The way she holds herself on the court, she's really good, like helping us like reset. Like I can get a little bit high on the adrenaline sometimes, and she's good at calming me down, I guess.
Yeah, yesterday's Acadia game, I told them that it was one of the craziest games that I have to ever do as a
Did
commentator.
we top it?
I mean, if you're not number one, you're really, really close second. That's quite a tournament. And now you've reached a really high in terms of emotion. That was the semifinal. There's a final coming now. How do you plan this end of day today and early tomorrow morning to go back to, let's say, a zone of comfort and being totally mentally ready for that game?
I think just keeping our preparation the same. Of course, this is amazing, and we're gonna maybe keep that high for about 15 more minutes, and then it really is gonna be on to the next, and just really focused on our exact same preparation for this semifinal goes into the final. And I think routine is just super important for us as a group. I think that's exactly what we'll do. We said yesterday after our quarterfinal, amazing, job's not done, and I think that's kind of the same feeling now moving on to the final. Awesome, we're gonna sit in that for a few minutes, but job's not done, and we gotta think about, okay, what's coming next.
Will it be easy to sleep?
Honestly, I'm gonna get a good night rest after this game. Obviously, I'll be excited for tomorrow, but go to bed, get a long sleep, save energy.
You heard it here first. Nice. Good.
Everybody's making curfew tonight, Coach.
Oh, don't think we'll have any issues with that. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's get out of here.
I have to say, it's the single best performance.